Welcome to week 1 of the wonderful world of paper piece quilt blocks sew along. That is a tongue twister, but it's okay. We are so excited to be here. I'm so excited to have you and to see what you guys make in the sew along. This is week 1, like I said, and I'm going to walk you through what we are doing this week, how I do it, what my process is like, and before we get into that, I'm going to show you a few ideas and inspiration to get you started if you are at all stuck on what to make. So like I said, this sew along is the wonderful world of paper piece quilt blocks to celebrate my brand new book. It has 30 patterns of flowers and bugs, all for foundation paper piecing. So if you love foundation paper piecing, then you might want to join this sew along because that's what we love to do, that's what I love to do, and that's what we are working on. So this sew along is really fun because you can customize it to however you want. You can make whatever you want. We are working on a table runner, but if you want to go crazy and start on the quilt or start a banner, really just like the possibilities are endless, and you can add whatever patterns you want from the book into your table runner to customize it to your decor and to your liking. So I'm going to walk you through my process on what patterns I'm using, what fabrics I'm using, how to cut the fabrics, because there aren't any fabric requirements because it's foundation paper piecing. So I'm going to show you how I like to cut mine, what I do, how I stay organized, and some tips along the way. So this is the table runner that I previewed in the sew along announcement, and these are all made with the 7-inch blocks. So there are 7 blocks on this one. Like I said, the 7-inch one with mix and match stems. So if you don't really like this stem, just leave it out. If you really love this stem, maybe do all of them in that stem. I just wanted different heights and different looks, so I went with all of them. But really just, this is for enjoyment and just for the love of sewing. So do what patterns you love, do what feels good to you. I want to show you a couple other options that are in the book and that will walk you through the process on how to make them. So this is another table topper, and the book does show you how to put those bugs on point so that it looks like they're flying over the flowers. And then this is a wall hanging, but could easily be a table topper as well, of a bunch of the different bugs. So this is kind of a fun one if you have a teenager or even decorating your front door for spring. I think it would be really fun, like in a library, school setting. There's so many possibilities. So those are a few to get your wheels turning on what to make. Here are a few more mock-ups to really add some inspiration. If you are undecided, check these out and see what you think. Now that you've seen some inspiration to get you started and get those wheels turning, I wanted to tell you my #1 tip for foundation paper piecing that will come in handy with this sew along, and that is what thread you are using. So up until this point, I've always just used 50 weight thread, and it works great. It's totally fine. I use it for bag making, piecing, quilting, everything, and it's just nice. You don't have to change it out. But I've recently found the wonderful Deco Bob 80 weight thread, and I was really nervous at first because it's quite a bit thinner, but it's actually very strong. It's a cottonized polyester thread to keep it super strong. But when I tell you the seams are so flat with a thinner thread, like I had no idea how much bulk thread added to your seams. I just had no idea. So I first started using it and I was just blown away by the thinness. So if you like really thin seams and just laying flat and super easy to sew, try out an 80 weight thread. I love this one, but all thread companies make an 80 weight, so you can find it. But otherwise, like I said, 50 weight is totally good as well. If you just want to level up your FPP, try the 80 weight. I absolutely love it. So let me show you what patterns I'm going to be using and the fabrics, and like I said, how I cut them. So I've decided to go with this mock-up right here, and it has 8 sunflowers with a light green background, but I'm going to be doing each of my sunflowers a different color. So I've gone ahead and pulled the fabrics that I'll be using over here. So I'm doing a array of pinks and browns and kind of this cider color, and then this is gonna be my center colors. So it's a really pretty palette, I think, for spring or fall. And then this is my light green. So I like to get all of my fabrics cut at once. I've also scanned and printed all of the templates I'll be using just to get that job out of the way. Once you do that, you want to make sure that you have printed them correctly. So go ahead and use your 1-inch test square and measure that. And it needs to be perfectly 1 inch around. If it's anywhere shy of that, just go ahead and reprint. You might want to print a test one to start with before you do all of yours at once. So I've done all of mine. I think I'm gonna cut mine out as I go so I don't have tons of pieces anywhere. But when you are ready to cut out, all you are going to do is just cut along the dotted line all of your templates piece by piece. And then once you cut all of your templates out, we can also cut out our fabric. So typically I kind of like to get just a huge piece and then trim at the sewing machine as I need it. But in order to do that, I kind of need to know what size to cut first. So what I like to do, we'll start with this one because it's an easy one. This is my center piece, like I said, which is D1. And so that's nice. If it's the first piece of the template, you can get away with cutting it smaller or more accurately. So this one, I'm just gonna cut a 2-inch square and that'll be totally fine. So what I'm gonna do actually is just open this up. And mine always looks weird because I always just take random cuts out of it. But what I'm gonna do is just cut a 2-inch strip here, and then I can put the rest away and put this in my kit for this project. And then for instance, for my background, I like to look at the whole pattern and see which is the biggest piece. So this pattern is pretty symmetrical. Yours will definitely be different depending on which one. But one of these background pieces is the biggest piece, and then we have this line. So I definitely need mine to be at least 3.5 wide. So I'll probably just cut a couple 3.5-inch wide strips from here, and then I'll take it to my sewing machine, and as I'm sewing, I'm going to be cutting as I go, and that's just what's enjoyable for me. But like I said, just find the biggest piece, measure it, and then cut to that size, and then you'll have plenty of room for the smaller pieces. That's what I like to do. And if you're brand new to foundation paper piecing, please go look at the video linked below. It'll walk you through the entire step if you're a visual learner. Otherwise, there is that tutorial in the book, like I said. So go ahead and get all of your fabrics prepped, get a bin, get it all organized so it's fun and easy to pull out and then put away when you're done. And I will make these 2 blocks and see you then.